Okay, welcome back everybody to the afternoon session of the... Oh, that's a high tackle. And he'll get the free kick. As I said, welcome back. We've got the Russian Tsars up against the French Cocks. French team is a very good team. They had a very good international cup in Australia, Melbourne, 2 months ago. As we see, a very good block there from the Russian on the line. And the ball looks like it's going to stay in. No, it just trickles over. So as I said, we've got the French Cocks running right to left with the Russian Tsars going from left to right. Hopefully you've all tuned back in to Bar TV Sports YouTube page where we are live. Also on AFL Europe, we're also live. And also live through YouTube. Sit tight, everybody. Commentators will be back for the finals, which will happen in around about 2 hours' time. But for the moment, we'll just leave you with the atmosphere, the ground mic, and we'll give you some score updates from earlier matches in a couple of minutes' time. Okay, so that completes the first half. As you can see, the French Cocks, a very good side. The Russians held their heads high. They're only a brand new, well, actually very, very new organisation. They had from memory, I think it was the St. Petersburg Koalas or the Moscow Koalas. One of those teams represented Russia at the Champions League, but it's great to see the national team, the Russian national team here representing Mother Russia. But the French, the home team, they've got a lot of backing, they've got a lot of support, and they look the real deal. So short 5-minute break, and then we'll kick off with the second half. Hopefully all of those of you who were watching the morning session have finally found the various links ready to go for the afternoon session. Of course, then we'll have another third session being the finals session. This game currently, the French Cocks leading the Russian Tsars 23 points to 0. Our next game up is the Irish Warriors up against the Flying Dutchmen. The Irish Warriors up against the Flying Dutchmen. That's both men's teams. So sit tight, and we'll be having the second half underway in about a minute's time. When the commentators come, we can't come in this area. It's just going to be too
I'm one of the people they want to commentate, so it's fine.
Okay. Well, then you'll understand the issue.
No, I get the issue.
When I go live, I'll just check the sound. So we're back underway. French find themselves down there into the field. Snap kick to the front, and a very good punch to the bottom of the upright. No, they've called play on. That's surprising. I thought we had been playing that if it was touching the bottom of that upright that they were getting the behind. But anyway, play on. And already the French are back on the board. They're behind.
J'ai pas vu encore une minute, enfin, les premières minutes de match que sinon on n'a pas de culture c'est la grande sœur.
Hello, so welcome back to coverage of the 2017 Euro Cup as we see Russia. The Russian Tsars kick it out, but straight to the French who kick it for another behind. As I was saying, 2017 Euro Cup live from Bordeaux, France. South of France living up to its sunny name. They've turned the weather on for us. It's a balmy 20 degrees here at the moment. Great conditions for football as we see another behind kicked. I'm sure the French will be a bit disappointed with how many minors they've kicked in this game, but they certainly haven't taken their foot off the necks of the Russian Tsars, that's for sure. As we've been saying, the finals for this competition start around about 2:30. What we like to call back home in Australia, Chinese dentist. The games will kick off, another behind kicked again. Finals will kick off, and of course Ollie, as I previously mentioned, from AFL Europe will be jumping on the microphone, taking you through all of the action from the afternoon finals matches. He'll be joined by a number of different players and coaching staff from around Europe and the national teams. For those of you who are just joining us for the first time, it's an AFL 9s comp, so 9 players on the field at any given time. And you have to be native to your European country to represent your nation here. Most of these players play for the various domestic teams within their countries. As we see a free kick, looks like, yeah, 25 metres. 25 metre free kicks these are, there's no 50 metres here because we're only playing on a rugby field. But yes, you need to be native to your country to represent your nation here at the Euro Cup. No Aussies. So it's great to see the level of quality that we've got throughout Europe. Not many people back home in Australia realise how big AFL is here, certainly in countries like Ireland who knew. But the likes of France, who you're seeing right now, both the men's and the women's team have been extremely proactive in getting a number of players involved in the ranks. Both women and men's teams from France, along with a lot of other European teams, made their way into Australia for the ICC. As we hear the final hooter, can the number 7 here for France finish on a goal? The hooter has sounded, but they will allow this kick. He's in the pocket. What can he do? Well, he looks like he's coming out. No, he's come off. He's come off his mark, and I think the umpire will call that is not. It's not a goal. So that final hooter, he ran around Mark. You're not allowed to do that in the game of AFL. So that sees the completion of the match. As we see the French Cocks moving on with a very solid 33-1 victory over the Russian Tsars. But like I said, the Russian Tsars can hold a very, very talented and professional unit, the French team, and that first half they certainly matched them, but they weren't able to get the ball up their end of the field in the second half, and France were able to run away with it. Next up on pitch 1, which we'll show you right now, live pictures. We'll bring you the Irish Warriors, the men's team, the Irish men's team, the Irish Warriors up against the Dutch team in the men's division, aptly named the Flying Dutchman. Straight after that match will be the Irish Banshees. They are the international champions. And they will take on the Swedish Ravens. That's going to be a cracker of a match. We'll really see where the Ravens sit in terms of quality, as well as whether or not the Banshees can go back-to-back after taking out last year's 2016 Euro Cup, which was also in a sunny part of the world, down in Lisbon, Portugal. So, in about 3 or 4 minutes, we'll be starting the next match. Like I said, between the Flying Dutchman and the Irish Warriors. I'll put a call out there early on. I think the Irish team are riding high after their time in Australia. The Dutchmen here hold a very, very enjoyable tournament every year, the Champions League out of Amsterdam. They don't quite have as strong a domestic league, the Dutch, as some of the other European countries like the French and the British Isles. But it's great to see the Flying Dutchmen here today and giving it their all. They're hoping to get a women's team up and running, the Dutch. But at this stage, it's just the men here. Be sure, if you're enjoying the coverage, to share the link to some of your friends and family who can get a chance to see that Aussie rules isn't just a game played in Australia, it's worldwide now. Of course, the Canadian women's team were the ICC champions until they were defeated in the final this year by the Irish Banshees. So not only North America or New Zealand, but also here in Europe, the game is as strong as ever. And it's great to see that the games are played in such good Aussie apologies there. Yeah, no, it's great to see that the game is played with great intent. It is a tournament, so you get injured. It's very difficult to keep playing on. That's why we see such big squads, 9 a side, but most teams have at least 18 in a squad. And like all of these lower tier sports, not a huge amount of money involved when it comes to sponsorship. So, all of these players here, they're all non-professional. They all pay their own way. And they're just here for the love of the sport, to be honest. The love of the culture and the love of the community. It's great to see. It's something that I think Aussies back home would be very surprised at how large this community really is and how passionate some of these European nations are for our game. Only a couple of minutes away from the Flying Dutchman taking on the Irish Banshees. We haven't had a toss of the coin yet, so we don't know which way either side is running. Once I see that, I'll let you know. Once the game kicks off, of course, we'll leave the sound of the crowd, decent-sized crowd here sitting in the grandstand at the St. Bernard Rugby Club here in Bordeaux. Also, we want to give a big shout out to some of those sponsors that I mentioned who are willing and able to support the Aussie game over here in Europe. Some of those sponsors include Philippine Airlines, a new sponsor, but it's great to see Philippine Airlines lending their support. Plenty of you flying over from Australia to Europe can take the Philippine Airlines way. We also have O'Neill's. O'Neill's also major sponsors of the Irish teams. ANZ UK, Hands Up, which is a teaching and recruitment agency. If you're a teacher, they're in Britain, for example, it's a great agency for teachers. PSS removals for those of you Aussies coming over, Europeans getting over to insurance. PSS removals. And then we have down under. thank you to Down Under Centre, Williams, Australian UK, Philippine Airlines, and USS for all their support. Any of those other sponsors out there looking to get involved in the game, hashtag bring the game of AFL here in Europe back home to the Aussie fan base. So if any of you are looking to find out other tournaments that are coming up, or any of the domestic leagues that you'd like to support or sponsor, be sure to get in contact with Ben Durant's or Ryan Davey at AFL Europe, or Josh Mason at Bar TV Sports. Minutes away from the next match beginning. As I said, the match following the Irish Warriors and the Flying Dutchman is the Irish Banshees. I'm yet to have seen the Irish Banshees so far today, but it'll be good to see where they're sitting. No doubt in form, pumped, but the Swedish Ravens are flying high as well after their big victory over the Croatian Queens from an earlier match. I'm hoping to get some of the results from previous matches. That way we can keep you up to speed on who is likely to make it through to the finals and who'll be sampling the juicy reds that Bordeaux is very famous for. And as I look around the grandstand, there's plenty of Kronenberg, the local French beer, plenty of Kronenberg, plenty of Vin Rouge, Vin Blanc, only from the Bordeaux region, of course. European nations all getting behind this tournament. A lot of fans have actually turned up, a lot of French fans, which of course is expected. So we'll have a minute or so break and we'll be back with the Flying Dutchman up against the Irish Warriors, kicking off in the cup. Yeah, just chill it. Okay. Yeah, I might even I'll do this first half, then that next half I'll go walk around and get some action. Same things, shots. We don't need dressing shots. And I need you to get something that's specifically about dress room shots and some of the Epsom diets. Last full charge. Minus last full charge. Are you having problems with the battery?
No, we've got plenty of batteries.
The only thing, get some umpires, hitting each other. Basically, we need, ideally, we they want footage of every single jersey. Sure. Dressing room. Umpires, and then support medical stuff. So as in, like, get on the ground and film the timekeepers, just get paid, things like that. And you gotta be like, hey, like what are you doing? And they say no. Say it's going up to the live stream. You're not a photographer. Just say it's for the live stream.
Well, I just still say it. Like, okay.
Try your best.
But mostly I was
Oh, look, I mean, these guys, watch this. Can you full screen it? I like get the logos up. Hey guys, can you give me a what up for the stream? Yeah, the tickle is still on and then you give them something. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, and then you'll come back to the 30-ish. And then you're going to be able to have right. It's going. And then just swap it a little bit. Now they've got any stuff that you feel like you need for it. And then so you walk up to the outside. So you can give you just stand there. There you go. We got Okay, can you adjust it? Put your earphones on. Ready? All right, so we're underway. Have a rethrow. So for those of you who have just joined us, Irish Warriors off to a great start. They kick the first opening goal. Take the score to 6-0. A great start for the Irish team. Definitely one of the teams to watch out for in the tournament. But let's see how the Flying Dutchman can come back after that early lead. Looks like it's a trip. It'll be an Irish free kick. Just ask her. I don't know, no. But that tent down there will know. take some time out to eat your lunch, so that when you come back, I'll send Justin down to get his lunch. Everyone gets back. Make sure we give her a microphone and maybe get her to do some little spot type things because you plug your microphone into your You're running in the replays? You're running in the replays? Yeah, we'll wait for the Brianna. I meant for you to have lunch.
I know.
Oh, you just did it as a favour.
He gave me his ticket anyway.
Oh, sorry. Oh, well done.
I can get you.
No. I thought you were bringing one for me and one for you, not one for you. I was like, what? It's great. Okay, so it's another goal there for the Irish team. They're looking very, very strong. That's the biggest kick of the day so far. It's almost a 50-metre goal, I reckon. Very well done. So those of you wondering, the Irish women's team will be straight up after this match. For all you Irish fans, the Irish Banshees will take on the Swedish Ravens. So there's half time. Irish Warriors living up to their name, battling out a hard-fought lead, 46 points to 0. Flying Dutchmen got a lot to do. They're going to have to look at consolidating and just winning the balls more from the clearances. That's really what's affecting them at the moment. Ireland's just finding it too easy to get it from that from the ball up into their end of the field. Some really good defensive work though from the Flying Dutchmen. Some of the tackling is a la rugby. So we have another half left to go before the Irish women's team will take on the Swedish women's team, two of the more fancied sides in the women's comp. See the Dutch captain barking out orders to his boys, numbering up in defence, not letting any of those easy clearances out. For the Irish, on the other hand, I'm sure it's a keep it up, keep being strong over the ball, head over the ball, like we've noticed so far. The commitment's well and truly there for the Irish team. They've got numbers around the ball, and they're kicking straight, which is, it's crucial. It really is here in an AFL 9s comp. Short fields, skinny fields, so it's very important to be able to kick straight, especially when you've got a kick from in front, 30 out. A couple of the other men's teams struggled early on in the morning with the dewy ball, but as the sun has dried out the ground, we're noticing that the kicking is becoming a lot easier. So we're about halfway through the day, to be honest. It's been a great morning so far. The sun's shining. There's no better place to be than the south of France, truth be told. All right. There we go. I'm sure the Irish will be looking to keep their feet well and truly planted on the necks of the Flying Dutchmen, whereas the Dutch will be wanting to get themselves at least some points on the scoreboard. I must admit though, I'm very much looking forward to this next match. The Banshees versus Irish Banshees versus the Swedish Ravens. However, still got another half to go where the Irish men's team are looking to continue their big lead, march their way into the finals. Well, there you go. It's much better clearance from the Dutch. They've even got the ball. I was about to say, you might even be able to get a disposal within the forward 50. But a very good smother from an Irish player there to... Oh no, well, they've got a free kick. I missed that myself. Oh, not quite a goal, but a behind. So, well done to the Dutch. They've got they chalk up the first points of the second half. Little mini victory. But you're always looking for those small wins. Like I said, we'll leave it up to the crowd noise to take over now, and we'll continue with the coverage. The ball has touched the outside upright, meaning a ball up for the umpires. They're saying some good stuff from too. All right, so apologies there. Looks like we're back in the game. So well done to the Dutch, chalking up the first points and only points. So far they're winning this half, 1-0. Yeah, they also didn't say anything, but Ben and the officials in that little box, you can get them doing a little wave to camera as well, like the official AFL group guys.
I wouldn't mind if nobody could hear me at the time. I think that's the worst part. Oh, you have to really loud. Yeah. Sure, we're talking later anyway.
Okay, so that's the completion. That's completion of the Irish Warriors' huge victory, 75 points to the Flying Dutchman's 2. So well done. The Irish Warriors have thrown out the gauntlet. That's a very big win, and they looked very clinical in front of goal. Nice straight kicks. Biggest kick we've seen so far, 50-metre plus kick for goal from one of the Irish players. And one of the big clashes coming up next, the Swedish Ravens up against the Irish Banshees. Can't wait for this clash. A couple of minutes break and we'll get into that match very shortly.
I'm trying to get the level 1 accreditation for my firing, so that's good I was playing on this field.
You get all the footage, and it's on Facebook and YouTube.
Okay.
Live, forever.
Okay. I can still hear you, but yeah.
Okay, you ready to go? All right, so it looks like we're only seconds away from the Swedish Ravens taking on ICC champions, the Irish Banshees. I must admit, living in Sweden myself, I'm pumped for this one, and being a McCormick, I'm somewhat torn. Good luck to both teams. I just want to see a great clash. Well, this is what she did in the game against the Croatian Queens, the number 20. I'm going to get a name on that because she deserves to be singled out. What a start for the Swedish Ravens. I'm sure I'll be able to get a look at a team sheet at some point. Of course, Ollie from AFL Europe will be on the commentary microphones very, very shortly. But for the moment, while I'm filming and producing, I'll try and get a couple of names out for you. and some very, very, very good kicks. That one looks like it's gone out on the full though. Irish Banshees will get a free kick just underneath the St. Medard rugby scoreboard. Can't get that ball out. Very good tackle. Okay, the game seems to have tightened up now. Not as free-flowing as both teams start to defensively make their mark. It's touched. All right, we see some changes on the substitutes bench from both the Irish and the Swedish teams. A 1 point game now. Just the French behind, giving them the lead. Well, that's going to trickle through. It does. Well, that's a heartbreaker there for the Ravens coach. As we take a look at him down on the sideline with the girls. Well, that's taken a leg break. Oh, it hasn't gone through though. As we see another behind. It's just a major in it now. Well, that's another goal. Here we go. We're seeing the cream rise to the top now. Like I said, they've had a lot of time together, these Banshees. The Ravens really need a goal here to stem this flow. Okay, so that's the end of the first half. Swedish Ravens took first blood, got off to a flyer with a great goal, but the next 4 straight have come from the Irish Banshees, showing their class. As we see the Swedish men's team on the one side of the grandstand. Good to see the Swedish blokes turning up and cheering on the women's team. Let's swing around and have a look at potentially the Irish men. No, but on the other side here of the grandstand, we've got the Russians, we've got the French ladies. Let's see if we can get a cheer. Hey guys, you're live. Give us a wave. Oh, we got the Irish flag. Down in front, they yell. Down in front, says the French. Oh, we got the Scottish flag. Oh, it's the Scots. Sorry, it's the Irish v Scotland. Don't get us started here on that one. And we got the Russian fellas in the background. But no, it's a good crowd here looking to cheer on the Irish Banshees up against the Swedish Ravens. As you can see, the sun is shining. It is beautiful here in the south of France. Hopefully all those Aussies that are up, what's the time there? What, 11, just coming up to 11 o'clock. Eastern Standard Time there in Australia. For all you Aussies who are sitting up watching your friends, family, exes, currents, plenty to watch here, plenty more to come as well. We're going to have Ollie from AFL Europe jumping on the microphone in a couple of hours' time, and he will be calling all of the action on the commentary, along with a number of players and coaches that are going to come up and just have a bit of a chat about what it's like to play Australian rules football over here in Europe. The footy's been great. This game's a cracker. It's still got a little ways to go. Let's hope the Swedish Ravens can take a pep talk. And come out firing. All right, so as we see the Ravens heading out on the field, the Irish Banshees are coming out. Gosh, they're riding high. They really have had a successful couple of years. Many will say that it's the Gaelic football influence, but it really is just passion, skill, and that want to perform well in front of the fans, the Irish fans, who are always very vocal. All right, looks like we're underway. Here we go. Good luck, everybody. We'll leave it up to the local microphones, and I'll keep you updated if anything exciting happens.
some broadcasting if you want that. I'm happy. I did it last year. It's good. Yeah. If you want me to. After? No. Call me.
Yeah, you'll get a chance. Just at 2:30. Just leave us to do this. 2:30 come back. Yeah, because we got to kind of concentrate. When the other guy comes back, commentary starts at 2:30. All right. Okay. Talk to the AFL Europe people and organise it. Hey, good.
Everything's all right?
You're not Oliver, are you?
Greg.
Greg, okay. Hey, everything's going well. We're just getting a lot of people coming out going, and we want to jump on commentary. It's like, I don't know when Ollie's getting here. You just got to hang back.
How many people watching it? Ready for your commentary?
How are you, mate? Hey, how you doing?
Ollie.
Ollie, awesome, good. Ollie, I'm Brendan. I'm going to get a chance to chat with you in a second. Just wait till the end of this game, and so I want you to jump on the mic. I've had a lot of people come up and go, when's commentary starting? And,
Yeah, I've been told the last 4 games, whenever you guys want, really.
well, it's up to you. Yeah, it's from finals, but I'm making announcements at the moment, but filming at the same time. So
Yeah, no, cool.
yeah, so I'd rather somebody be here, and because we got that many people coming up and saying, oh, we've been told we're supposed to be doing commentary. I've got to do it now. It's like, sorry guys.
So
Chewy, that guy sitting down checking his phone. He wants to do it.
yeah, he did an interview last year. Liked his 15 minutes of fame.
He's just come.
that's good,
There's a
mate.
few others. So
The more the
absolutely, but it's just more. I can't organise it. I need.
stand around here and help you.
I just need you to
Yep. No, all good.
put it out to all the guys so that they come up, and we're going to stick you over there so that we'll move these people in front. What time is it? 2:08. Yeah, so 2:30. I think we're going to kick you off. Is that all right?
How are you going with the rest of it?
Yeah, really good actually. Yeah.
Right, you back again? Came back after last year?
How long, Justin? How many? 3 minutes. All right, everybody. So as we see France lining up, and a very good kick. Sorry, France. What am I talking about? It's the Irish Banshees. Ireland have really kicked away. Sweden took that first goal. We thought that they were really going to put it to the Irish team here, but look, the form and experience of Ireland has just come shining through. They're a quality outfit. They're definitely the team to beat this year. But the Swedes have definitely held their own. It's just that the Irish are just so good in front of goal. They've really made them pay as we see the ball back up the Irish end of the field. Of course, at the end of this game, we're going to start into our finals. We're not exactly sure who's in the finals yet, but no doubt Ollie and the boys from AFL Europe will know exactly what's going on. We've got Ollie from AFL Europe who will be jumping on the mic in about 15 minutes' time for the 2:30 kickoff. That will be that'll be the men's plate. The men's plate, not sure exactly who that is, so maybe we can get Ollie to head down and find out who's up, as we need to know who that will be. But it's exciting for everybody to see in the next 10 minutes who that might be. And then at 2:30, Ollie will be back here for the commentary, along with many players and coaches from the national teams. As we see A behind. All right. We see the Swedes kicking out. Takes a comfortable mark. Probably only around about a minute left in this. As we see one of the Irish girls in a bit of bother. Looks like she took a high shot. No, but she's straight up. I'll tell you what. The women's game have hold no punches. They're very tough. And there you go, that's it. So a very, very, very solid win by the Irish Banshees. I think we all knew they were going to be the team to beat, but they've gone through the Swedish team very, very comfortably. Of course, you have the English team, a very strong side as well. So plenty of chances for the women's competition to fire up. I'm sure that's not the last we'll see of the Swedish team. They might even be able to go through their pool into one of the finals. As we do a little celebrity spotting, we have Ryan Davey there, the head of the AFL Europe, who is just, look, you're going to get some photos, photo ops, of course. All the hard work done by, of course, Ryan, Ben, and all the guys at AFL Europe. So we'll have a short break and we'll be first back to you with the men's plate quarterfinal 2. Not exactly sure who will be in that yet, but of course Ollie will be rocking up in around about 10 minutes time to jump on the microphone, fill us in on how everything's going here for the tournament, who are the teams that are doing well, as well as bringing the personalities of Aussie rules around Europe, both the players and the coaches. It's amazing to see the crowd. It's a really good crowd, of course, made up of a number of players who have maybe finished off their games, along with a fair few of the French family and friends here as well. As we see the Swedish team being clapped by the men's team. Great spirit this whole thing's been playing in. So as I said, we'll go on a short break and we'll be back. First of the quarterfinals.
This might keep you here for the moment because that's going to jump on the camera. Just while Ollie gets here, I'll just set up all these microphones at the moment. Because we're going to have and we'll just sort of, maybe if you do the whole game or half the game, I'm not sure we can. But any particular things that you still need to get yourself that you think you would look good in the okay.
So I've been in and out.
Is there one really close? We'll just go.
Otherwise, I think I'm pretty much good.
Okay. We've got a shot of the flags. I mean, it's literally just, if the song goes for 3 minutes, they're looking for a minimum. So, yeah, so, you know, if you think you've got 3 minutes, I know last time you had a couple of like double ups, good things where you had stuff to start and double up. That's okay. I know you had like some different transitions and stuff, so it sort of tricks people into it. Have you got a reply doing that? Give me a cake.
No, actually, I
I'm going to go and get some stuff that I think needs to be in it.
But aside from that, and then like you said, I've got, I think I've got more, at the end that I could always be more of that.
Yeah, well, you'll get a chance again because I'm going to go just get a couple of umpires to have female and male. Good, yeah, good. Yeah, I saw you around. Is this turned on? Stop. Okay. Okay, yes. Exposure is. Okay, 3 minutes because I just want that and then I'm done and then I'll come back up. Just make sure all your mics are all good.
Everything is set up, and set up. But it was more like
Hani doldursa da? Sorry, but I didn't get it before.
That means it's drinking or not. I'm not wasting time.
Ollie, Mr. Crosby,
I didn't get it before.
okay, so so yeah, so no,
What team is that?
no, England wear red and white. It looks actually more like it's Australia. No, I didn't have that. So I don't know. Definitely not England. England actually says England on the back. They've got like red. But, what have you got up on the screen? Okay, put Bordeaux, no, put, just put like the RTV and the AFL Europe. And just go widescreen. I'm going to put a shot of the crowd. Okay, so at some point we want that camera to be up and movable. We haven't done any interviews yet. So I was keen for granted. I think we'll probably get, if there's a little bit of colour and whatever, and we can jump on that side. Just try and get the commentators flowing.
I'll send just, I think I've got everything.
Cool.
I've got a story after.
Okay, awesome. Perfect, that's perfect. And I got all the captains.
I saw that. I was like, oh, good.
And then they got the two different umpires just doing a bit of a weird, you just put it fast forward and slow. Yeah, I was going to say, lead box. The Irish guys. Hang on, it's like, it's Hassel and Sam. Ben's probably trying to get the game. She's supposed to come in 4 minutes.
What's that?
I'll ask. Oi, Sweden, are you on this? Oi, Swedes, are you guys on this now, are you?
Huh? He had no idea.
I know. Didn't recognise that because he's actually Afghan. Oh yeah, well, if they're born in the country and they played and they didn't play AFL in Australia until they were 12 years old, they played as okay, Justin, it's going to be Sweden. Actually, here we go. Hey, fellas, look at you guys. Swiss. I'm assuming it's Sweden versus Swiss.
Yeah.
So I find them?
No, I couldn't get the. They said they're still working out.
They must know.
No, these ones are on the same.
Yeah. This is a final. Final. Here's the best. So Sweden v Swiss.
So Ryan, when Ryan says there's no plan for 14 days.
No, if you're not going to do it, don't do it. No, fine. You're just going to go for one. Semi-finals. Oh, well, there you go. Okay. That's why 3-3. Yeah, I do need to know who the teams are. Off the scoreboard. Every 5 minutes before, because we need to be able to, I mean, now it's just, it just takes a little while to get like, all the stuff through. Not till 4 o'clock now, so I always
No, we're
hear
playing
you.
at 3:30. After we play?
Yeah. What time? So you're 3:30 on.
3:30 on pitch 1, baby, we're live. We got the bye. We got the bye, and now we're live against the winners of Scotland and Russia. Because we won against Switzerland, and we lost only by a small margin against Austria. Cool. Okay. 2 years ago, we got by Austria.
I'm going to try and find Ben.
What are you all Ben on?
I'm just going to give him a heads up and say, when you get these, see,
So we'll be up
earlier the better, that's all the same.
Yeah, no.
He did say to me he was on it, but I guess he's
I think he's sitting down there. He's sitting there. Once he works, he's going to get see face to face. Once he's got ropes, and then it just flies.
No, that's fine. As long as we've got this, you okay, yeah? Then I'll make announcements myself, just who's playing. And then, yeah, when you come back up, whatever. Okay, so, oh, okay. Well, then in that case, what do I tell the round? Yeah, because you get a jump. The thing is, your microphones are going away. You usually have your headphones plugged in. Headphones are really big extensions. So if you want to listen, all you can do is listen to the have your team sheets. And so that way, your microphones are just call. Because,
So what we did was we called the play and we'll also just do some interviews.
exactly. That's a big point. I haven't really had much of a chance to do that. So, what I'm going to do is I'm here. And do interviews at some of the so if you're going to be up there, who's going to ask questions, then have like, there you go. Yeah, you're going to take it. So I was right. When we did the big ones,
Simon Kasam, se mi vuole che mi sta
now you talk. Every couple of just a bit too.
No, I'm all for that.
Yeah, you just keep talking up what it is. And then I'll give you these t-shirts.
So then I'll come up before. Is that right? Yeah, it's important for us to get the message. We were having trouble raising this year. Properly tell the people around us.
Okay, so as you can see, we've got the Swiss team up against the Swedish team. This is one of the quarterfinals. One of the quarterfinals here, where we have, it looks like 12th versus 13th, but the Swedes have just scored a goal. Get off to an early lead here. So I mentioned that we were going to have Ollie from AFL Europe up here to call some of the game. He's actually not going to jump on until after 3:30. So we've got another 2 matches to go. He'll be on the mic from the semi-finals. But until then, we'll just leave the crowd noise in. We'll get through all of the lower quarterfinals, and as time goes by, we'll get closer to the teams that are going to be competing for the overall final. But for the moment, Swedish Elks in yellow taking on the Swiss men's national team in the white and red streaks. So stay tuned. Of course, we're going to be dropping our stream at 4 o'clock, and we'll open up our new stream.
Right.
France or somebody.
can't explain this.
All right, so well done to the Swedish Elks who have defeated the Swiss team, the Mountain Cocks. $61 points to 15, so well done to the Swedish Elks who will take that win. Swiss Mountain Cocks played very well, got their last 2 goals, I'm pretty sure. It looks to us like the next match is going to be held between the Paris Cocks, the men's national team, versus the Flying Dutchman. That there is our 3 p.m. fixture. Quarterfinal. So just to fill everybody in on some of the results from earlier today, it seems to me like they've announced the qualification process for the pools. And as you can see, we've got the Paris Cocks, my apologies, the French Cocks, it's the national team, the French Cocks who won their pool. And they will take on second place from Pool B, which is the Flying Dutchman. We've seen both these sides previously. Let me just double check. Yes, we have. We've seen both these sides previously. The Flying Dutchmen on this field were defeated, whereas the French Cocks took out their win. So in it's supposed to be 1 minute, but I've got the feeling it's probably going to be closer to 3 minutes. We'll have a kick-off between the French Cocks national men's team who topped their pool, Pool C, and they will take on the Flying Dutchman who got second behind the Irish Warriors in Pool B. So stay tuned. The semi-finals begin at 4 p.m. 4 o'clock local Bordeaux time. That is 1 a.m. Australian time for all those Aussies who are staying up late to watch family and friends running around here in the south of France. And of course, from 4 o'clock, we will have brand new links, the finals link on YouTube. The rest of you who are on Facebook watching, you just need to stay tuned to your newsfeed, or you can go simply to the Bar TV Sports Facebook page or the AFL Europe Facebook page. There'll be about a 10-minute break around about 10 to 4. 10 to 4 local time, which is in around about 50 minutes. We'll go on a 5-minute break as we open up the new links for the afternoon sessions, the finals sessions. And we'll, of course, have Ollie from AFL Europe on the microphone, interviewing some of the characters who are here playing for the different national teams. For those of you who have just joined us, it's an AFL 9s competition, 9 players on the field from each side. Unlimited interchanges, and as we're noticing, plenty of injuries, plenty of tired legs. But we can't wait for this next match to take on. I'm putting an early tip out there that the French Cocks will nip the sails of the Flying Dutchman as we see the first ball up, and the Dutchman are the first to get a clearance there. Looks like he's unable to distribute that ball. Free kick to the French Cocks. so we'll leave it back up for you to watch the vision here, and we will we'll give you a bit of some score updates from around the grounds in a little bit time.
Premier groupe, équipe de France inscrit par Simon Mondin, équipe de France 6, Pays-Bas 0. Assistez au quart de finale de l'équipe de France. J'ai besoin de vos encouragements. Poussez les bleus.
I found a text message that says that they say focus on the
All right, so it's a cracking start by the French Cocks. Flying Dutchman get a good clearance out, but there's no one sitting on the half-forward line for the Dutch. Oh, a check side kick into space. Oh, the Frenchman gets run down Very good defence from the Dutch. Here we go, we'll have a ball up. Now, if my memory serves me correctly, this is one of the standout umpires holding the ball, who's about to ball up. American. And always comes out to Europe for all of the tournaments that we've got. Yeah, Laurie, it's Laurie, it is. So well done to Laurie, who's out on the field. The other umpire out there is David and Seb. So big thank you to all our volunteer umpires. They do a great job. We certainly. And like all good tournaments, when you don't really hear from the umpires, you know they're doing a good job. Great bump there from the Dutch. Socket off the ground. Could have been called dangerous. Play on's a call though. The number 8 looks that has. Oh, here we go. No, we've got a free kick to the Dutch. And like I said, they don't have a fixed domestic competition, the Dutch. However, they do hold the Champions League in Amsterdam year after year, and there are plenty of expats around Rotterdam, Amsterdam, who certainly live and breathe AFL. Oh, that's touched. Well done to the Dutch defenseman who settles it down. Very good handball. French can't take it on cleanly. Oh, and it's a push. That's a free kick. They won't play on. Brings it back. So just to let some of you know, we've got 21 teams right now. 21 teams competing. There is 14 in the men's division, 7 in the women's, but the Danish and the Welsh team is a combined team, so we could almost say that we've got eight nations representing the women's. Very good kick, just to the right of the upright there for the Flying Dutchman, but they are on the board. They're off the nudie run. Always a good feeling for the coach to have his team off the nudie run. It's a very good kick out for the Frenchman. He's unable to hold on to the mark. The Dutch just weren't there breathing down his neck, but they do take a very good mark on the half-back line. So as I said, the 8 nations representing the women's comp. 14 nations representing the men's comp, with even in it, the Jerusalem Peace Lions, who have made their way here. Anyone in Australia who doesn't think AFL Aussie rules is an international game need to just come over to Europe and see how passionate some of these countries are about the game, especially the French, who have been amazing hosts, and well done to the Bordeaux club, along with that's a very good kick. Oh, it's touched. Very good touch. As you notice, it's a rugby field that we're playing on, and that's because we're playing at the home of the Saint Medard Bordeaux Rugby Club, sitting in Federal 2 from memory, the Saint Medard Rugby Club. We're definitely in rugby territory down here in the south of France. Toulouse, a short bus or train ride away. Big shout out to Brianna Ferguson and Justin Castle, who are helping me here with the production. Bar TV, kicking goals all over the world at the moment. And for those of you who thought you couldn't get your AFL fix after the Richmond Tigers took out the national comp, But here we go. We've got plenty of AFL action right here on Bar TV. Only a couple of minutes left in this half. The French team certainly didn't find it as easy as what I think they thought. Flying Dutchmen are getting physical, and they're not letting the French get any easy disposals at all. Another one, and another one. They're just tackling. Here we go. What can you do? Ball dribbles out. It's a great effort, to be honest, from the Dutch. Here we go, Laurie again with the ball up. Our American umpire. Good strong head over the ball. That's not coming out. Laurie will have another ball up there. That's the siren, so that's the end of our first 12-minute half. So we'll have a short 2-minute break while the coaches count some orders. France have got the 3 goals, 2 behinds, 20 points, leading the Dutchmen, who are yet to get a major with only the 2 behinds. Not exactly sure who's up next at this field. I might be able to work it out, to be honest. Let's have a little look-see. We've got the men's cup. Sorry, the men's plate semi-final coming up next. And we have the Jerusalem Peace Lions up against what? Not exactly sure actually who their Peace Lions are up against, but as soon as I know, I'll let you know. So as I said, we'll have a short little break and we'll be back for the second half of the French Cocks versus the Flying Dutchmen.
C'est parti pour la deuxième mi-temps. Code du bruit pour l'équipe de France qui est en passe de réaliser un exploit se qualifiant pour les demi-finales. Pour la deuxième fois de son histoire, sur ce même terrain. Allez, on encourage l'équipe de France, s'il vous plaît, on pousse, on pousse, on pousse. Cette seconde mi-temps, goal pour l'équipe de France, le score de 26-2.
Four. Okay, so I'm joined here by Dan Conniff, the captain of the Scottish Clansmen. Dan, you're playing here after the French Cox Flying Dutchman match. Mate, who are you up against?
The Jerusalem Peace Lines is our next match.
Okay, so yeah, they're the invitational, like the Eurovision. Australia's now in the Eurovision. We've got Israel in the Eurovision. Why not bring them along? So, mate, do you know anything about the Jerusalem Peace Lines?
They've been here the past couple of years. I think the first time I saw them was last year in Lisbon. Looked quite good against Russia, but we obviously just took them out, so hoping to go one better and beat them this time.
Absolutely. Look, we actually haven't seen the Scottish Clansmen here on pitch one, so it's good that you guys are getting a go here. Mate, who should we be looking out for from your side, number and name?
Probably number 3, Matt Goodman. He's been stellar in the midfield all day. Or number 4, Shooter McGavin off the half-back line. He's
Shooter McGavin. So Shooter McGavin at number 4, and who was it at number 3?
Matt Goodman.
Matt Goodman. Both Scottish Clansmen?
Yep, both Scottish Clansmen, and both having a good day.
Okay. All right, mate. Well, good luck out there, and don't show any peace against those Lions. Make sure you go out there hard.
No, hard and fast, and hopefully get the win.
Good luck, mate.
Yep, thanks very much.
À 3.
Five.
62-4 pour l'équipe de France.
Okay, I'm joined here by Jerusalem Peace Alliance player Nimrod. Nimrod, thanks for being with us here.
Pleasure. Happy to be here.
Mate, you're coming up against the Scottish Klansmen. Do you know anything about them? Have you seen them play already today?
Yeah, well, we come from Jerusalem, so we sent some intel. We collected some intel about them. We know they're thick, they got long kicks. They can mark the ball, but we hope to outrun them on the ground.
All right. And so far, how have you guys gone so far? We haven't actually seen you on this pitch one yet, but we're going to get a chance to see you in action today. How have you gone so far?
This team has been in action in 2008 IC, 2011 IC, and this is the third year in a row in Europe. And this is by far our best tournament to date. We convincingly won against Switzerland. We had a really good game against Austria, and we lost to Germany, but that's fair.
They're a good side. So you actually beat the Swiss side.
Yeah, we convincingly beat them, and we played it with our heart. I mean, not all of us have a lot of skill, but we've been playing very hard to send a very important message back home and to the world.
No, we're very much behind you guys for that. Look, as I said, we haven't seen you guys so far, but for the viewers back home and around Europe, who should we be looking out for? Names, numbers, players, who do you think?
First of all, be looking out for a lot of heart on the field and a lot of people sacrificing themselves for each other. And player-wise, we've got, in the full forward, we've got a guy called Dion.
Okay.
He's bald. Look out for him. He's kicked a few goals. He's good. And in the center, we've got a guy called Elliot. He's tall, lanky, and he looks weak, but he's actually very strong.
That's great. That's great. Look, mate, it's great to have you guys here. We as Aussies, we love being invited to Eurovision. We love being invited to these sorts of things. You guys being Israelis in the same boat. So congratulations on how you've gone so far today. I've got a feeling you'll be back up in the commentary box at some point this afternoon during the finals. And good luck in this next match.
Thanks very much. Thanks for having us.
Good, thanks. Thanks. All right, so that's the end of that match. Well done. Got a 69er in that match. But the Flying Dutchmen can certainly hold their heads high with a score of 10 on the board. As you can hear, the Scottish ladies getting behind their boys. Hopefully we'll get a chance to speak to one of the Scottish girls in a second, and we'll see how they've got on so far today. French Cocks giving their fans a bit of a clap. We've got a good crowd here up in the grandstand. So So well done to the French Cocks who are from memory undefeated, to be honest, undefeated. So here we go. This is going to be a very, very interesting match. Peace Lions on a high. As you heard from Nimrod, it's one of the best tournaments they've had so far. It really is growing into a world game. But to be honest, this Scottish team play with a lot of heart, along with the Jerusalem Peace Lions, so it's going to be a cracker of a game. As we hear the Klansmen chant. All right, so hopefully I'm going to try and jump into the crowd and see if any of the Scottish girls want to have a bit of a chat. Any other games that you got coming up?
Probably Speedo. She's Laura Park. She's a new forward, but she's just grown in confidence since the IC, and she's putting a lot of pressure up forward and creating opportunities.
Look, I know that there's plenty of Scots that have joined into the coverage. It's a shame you've only got 9 players. I'm sure that's definitely had a hinder on everything that's going on. What would you say to all the lasses up in Scotland?
But then there's also a team in Fife, the Kingdom Kangaroos and the Edinburgh Bloods. So there's lots of different places that they can get involved. But honestly, just get involved. Like, we all love the sport, and there's only 9 of us, but we love being Scottish underdogs. It's kind of something we're used to. So we've had a really awesome day. All
right. Well, good luck to the Klansmen, and make sure you cheer them on, and good luck for the rest of your day as well. Thanks, guys.
It was a child, by the way. A child fell over.
came around the corner up the steps and all the volunteers. Yeah, it's 2 minutes.
He's had a fracture or a bit of heart. Probably you say you're not sure, but I'll ask. And then I'm going to ask who's been playing for France. And then who is it for people to watch for the next game? Who should we be looking at? Number?
Oh, come on,
Let's get a quick interview. You said look in the room, switch yourself. Sorry, when I finish with the mic, I'm just going to ask you.
Okay, so as we can see, we've got it's 2 points, it looks like 2 behinds to 1 goal, 1 behind here in the current game. But I'm standing here with one of the French cocks, Thomas. Thanks for being with us today, Thomas.
Yeah, thanks. No worries. That's a good day.
Yeah, so look, we just saw you defeat the Flying Dutchman. Congratulations. Mate, how do you think you guys have gone so far?
Yeah, we were going well this year and today. Yeah, we won our game, so this is pretty impressive for us, but we play at home, so that's helped a lot, and the weather is beautiful.
It's the south of France, it's beautiful weather, you've turned it on. The Scottish have already been complaining that it's a bit too hot for them, but you know, I'm sure that was part of the plan from you guys. Look, do you know who you're coming up against? As you said, you're undefeated. You're definitely one of the teams to beat at the moment. Do you know who you're coming up against?
We are not sure, but probably England, but we'll see.
V England, an old rivalry there. Mate, look, as we see a goal kicked by the Klansmen to take the lead, 8 points to 7. Thomas, so far, who do you think's been some of the standout players for your team so far?
I reckon Jeremy Sardin is pretty well today. He kicked few goals and yeah, did few good passes for our partner. So yeah, you can have a look at him. He's a number 7. So
Number 7. Okay.
yeah.
Whereabouts does he play on the field?
On the forward.
He's one of the forwards. Okay.
And Thomas, were you one of the players that got to go out to Australia for the ICC Cup, or did you, for the ICC I should say, or with some of the other players in your team go?
Most of the players in the team play in Australia during the summer. Only 2 couldn't come, but are here today, including the captain.
Okay.
So yeah.
So the captain's away. The captain's not here today.
No,
oh, he is here. Sorry, yeah. So he was one of the guys. Did you yourself get to go out to Australia?
Yeah, for my second time, for the World Cup. Okay. So yeah.
How did you love it? How did you feel like you played?
Yeah, it was a bit difficult for us because we were in the Division 1, so pretty tough. And then we used to play on a 9 side and not 18 side. And we didn't play all together before, only a few training and few matches. So
It's that's the thing about AFL. Knows who you're up against. We have to still wait for some results to come in. But look, good luck today, Thomas, and we hope to see the home team. It's always good to see the home team take a victory. And so good luck, and we'll be watching.
thanks for that. Bye.
Thanks, Tom.
Girls, is this a kick the tie game on the side?
Okay, so coverage comes back in. We've got the Jerusalem Peace Lions lined up for a kick for goal after the hooter. No, and it's just to the left. And it's a behind. So what a great game. The Klansmen are down at half-time, but they're only really, they're a goal and a bit behind. Jerusalem, the Peace Lions have come out. They're really here. They're playing with a lot of heart, like Nimrod said. We'll have a couple of minutes break and we'll get underway with the second half in no time at all. As we see the Scottish downing the water. They're definitely not acclimatised to this warmer weather for this time of year, that's for sure. All right, so like I said, we'll stay tuned. It looks like in about 10 minutes' time we're going to be shutting down this stream. Or 15 minutes' time, we'll shut down the streams and we'll bring it back up. So stay tuned to your Facebook pages to see the final session live streamed on Facebook, or if you're watching it through the YouTube platform, you'll need to close down the afternoon session and move on to the final session. As we see the Jerusalem Peace Lions getting straight back out there, the Klansmen are still in the huddle, getting orders, and we wish both these teams luck.
well, okay, Kieran from the Warriors. And, not quite yet, but we'll give you a microphone in a second. That's all right. But we're going to shut it there. Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. So what I'll do now is I'll just say. Actually, I'll probably just make an announcement. I was going to speak to you after I spoke to Thomas and the...
Yeah, I'm going to suck it up.
That's all right, mate. I guess we... next year.
You've got that master schedule, I can figure out who...
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Okay, so as you can see, we've still got probably another 9 or 10 minutes left in this match. The Jerusalem Peace Lions still with the lead, 16-8. Like I said, we're going to shut down all the streams from the afternoon sessions and open up our final sessions. Once we do that, Ollie from AFL Europe is going to jump on the microphone. First in the commentary box is going to be the Irish Warriors key figure Kieran, who will jump on the microphone as well. Like I said, Ollie's going to take over all of the, as we just see the Klansmen kick another goal to really make this game an exciting finale as we see the ball come back. Definitely a goal to Scotland, 14-16. Only the two behinds in this. A major will win it for the team. But as I said, I will bid you all farewell and pass it back over to Ollie. He'll be taking over the commentary after the break. For those of you, as soon as this game, the hooter goes, we'll be shutting down the streams. Be sure to check out your Facebook feed or log on to the YouTube finals link as we see the Klansmen looking to score back-to-back goals and leapfrog the Jerusalem Peace Lions on the scoreboard. I'll stay with you as we find this kick. It's a great view on the Bar TV camera. The number 7 lines it up, puts it through, and he scores it. Clutch goal for the number 7. Hopefully Kieran and Ollie will be able to give you some names as opposed to what I've been able to just call them by their numbers. But we've got a whole heap of team sheets for the fellas. So apologies to all those people who've been writing on Facebook and YouTube and the like, saying that none of the guys are getting a call up. But you'll all get it. You'll all get your 15 minutes of fame, no doubt, once Ollie jumps on that microphone. As we see the Klansmen winning the clearance again, but the Peace Lions defenseman was there only to kick it to the halfway. So as I said, in around about 7 or 8 minutes, we'll shut all this down. And but make sure you stay tuned for the climax of the 2017 Euro Cup, live and exclusive from Bordeaux.
don't think so. Drops, water. Croatia.
Lauren's on standby, so she'll come up for the final. Yeah, I think the final is so she's right for that. Let's get
All right, so that there is the completion of that game. Well done to the Scottish Clansmen. They ended up having more legs in the end, and they came home very, very strong. But big ups to the Jerusalem Peace Lions. They've really done a great job. As I've told you, most of you will probably be already swapping over to the Facebook pages of Bar TV and YouTube and AFL Europe. The stream will be live. We're about to shut down the stream from YouTube. Once we shut this stream down from YouTube, make sure you click on the final session link. Up next will be the Swedish Ravens up against the English Vixens. So stay tuned. If you're watching from Facebook, head over to the other YouTube finals link, and we'll be back with Ollie and Kieran both on the microphones for the finals as we hear a big cheer for the Klansmen from their fellow Scottish ladies.